I want you guys to break free of the mental and emotional prison that you have been living in all of these years of your life. The thing is, you never created that prison. It was created for you all of these years ago. However, you are maintaining it, and you don't have to maintain it, because by maintaining this prison, you are limiting yourself. You're limiting your capabilities. You're stuck in a narrative that was never created by you. The narrative that you are living in of, I'm not enough, I'm not deserving, I'm not worthy of this promotion, I'm not worthy of being a mother, I'm not worthy of being a father, I'm not worthy of running my own business, I fear rejection, what if they don't like me? All of that was never created by you, but it is being maintained by you because now that inner voice has become your own voice. But it started somewhere. It never started with you. It probably started pre-verbal. It probably started when you were a child. Maybe it started with being bullied by your parents or by peers at school. Maybe it started by having emotionally cold parents that anytime you cried, they'd look at you and tell you to shut up. Or they would look at you and just turn away. You had to learn how to self-soothe. You had to learn how to swallow your own emotions because your emotions were not allowed. And when that happens, guess what? Fast forward later, we think that we're being selfish for expressing our own emotions. We have guilt for expressing our own emotions because way back then, we were told that that's not allowed. That's not what got our needs met. Crying never got your needs met. Being quiet got your needs met. Being told what to do got your needs met. Listening and being in the survival mode got your needs met. But fast forward, what helped you in your past is now hindering your present. It is hindering you from having the life that you deserve to have. The narrative, the prison that you're stuck in is keeping you limited. You can't have this meaningful, purpose-driven life. And I often hear, well, what is my purpose? What am I here for? Why was I even born? You do have a purpose, but all of these questions, it's valid. These are valid questions because when you were younger, you never had anyone foster who you are intrinsically, internally. Nobody fostered that. So now as an adult, you're walking in this world kind of trying to fit in and figure things out. And the only thing that you know is based off of your past. But now, how you move through that is by recognizing how your past continues to impact you in the present. You have to recognize that crap happened to you. You have to recognize that whether it was a big T or little t, things happened that has definitely impacted your brain, that has impacted your perception of the world around you. Dr. Gabor Mate said, before the mind creates the world creates the mind. And I want you guys to think about that for a little bit. Because your perception of who you are and how you move through the world as an adult was not created by you internally. It was created by the world that you've existed in all of these years. And I want you to know that it's possible to break free. I want you to know it's possible to break free and live the life that you've been called and deserve to live. I suggest that you work on telling yourself the truth. Telling yourself the truth about what got you here mentally and emotionally. You may be someone who thinks that they're not good enough for anything. But I want you to be curious. I want you to wonder, why do I believe that? Where did this come from? And in order for that to happen, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to tell yourself the truth. You have to tell yourself the truth about your past and how it has shaped your present. A lot of people want to think, oh, the past has nothing to do with it. Of course it has something to do with it. It has everything to do with it. And I want you to be curious. I want you to ask questions. I want you to think, What was my childhood like? What type of relationships did I have with my peers? What type of relationships did I have with my parents? Did I feel emotionally safe? Did I feel like I can be open? Did I feel like I can be myself? How did I get my needs met? Was I always a people pleaser? When did that start? I want you guys to be curious about your past. I want you to be curious about the person you are today. I want you to ask yourself, do I like this version of myself? Or is this just a version that I've become accustomed with? I want you to really just kind of delve deep a little bit. And then once you delve deep, I want you to take a step back and recognize, whoa, the narrative that I have been walking around with is not even my own. And that begs the question, well, if I'm not this, then who am I? This is where you have to start doing the work. You have to start getting to know yourself. You have to start figuring out, what are my likes? What are my dislikes? What do I value? What do I believe in? What are my morals? What are my hobbies? You have to literally start from the beginning to figure out who you are and the direction that you want to go into. It's possible to live a meaningful, purposeful life, but it does require a lot of work. It does require you to be consistently active with undoing the narrative that has been told to you all these years. You have to be consistently active with working on becoming the version of yourself that you've been destined to become. It's not about changing anything about yourself, but it's about tapping into something that's always been there, and you're finally now breaking it free so you can have that meaningful purpose that it's always been in here. But we've never known how to really tap into it. We've never known it existed. We've been existing on a past narrative that no longer serves its purpose. Another thing that we have to also work on is getting to a place of acceptance. Accepting what you can't change. We can't change the past. We can't sit and daydream about what our past would have looked like. Because when you're doing that, you're not allowing yourself to show up for you in the present. If you're just stuck in blame, you're not allowing people to show up for you in the present. It's important that you get to that place of acceptance. And acceptance doesn't mean you're condoning bad behavior. It doesn't mean that you're giving up. Acceptance just means that this is what it is in the moment. This is what it is in the moment. And this is what happened. And I see it and I acknowledge it. I'm not going to try to stuff it down. I'm not going to try to bury it. I'm going to look at it. It's there. But I'm also going to continue to move through my life. I'm also going to continue to move forward. And we can also do that by adding in self-compassion. Self-compassion helps us to move through some of the overwhelming emotions that we feel. Self-compassion moves through some of the stuck thoughts that we have about ourselves and that we think people have about us. That compassion is going to help you cut down some of the barriers that continue to keep you stuck. It's about acknowledging, yes, this is what it is, and this is why I feel this way. It's about acknowledgement. It's about validation. You're learning how to self-soothe, and you're learning how to just be kind to yourself. And when you can embody all of those, you are able to move through without feeling stuck. And it's not about being perfect. You're going to have good days. You're going to have not so good days. That's okay. Healing isn't a linear process. There is no benchmark for this is now I know I'm healing because this is what's happening. It's different for everybody. And that's what we have to keep in mind. We have to focus on ourselves. We have to focus on our journey and not someone else's journey, because it's going to look very different for them than it does for you. You can have that meaningful, extraordinary life. You can have purpose. You can find yourself. You can have all the things that you've desired. But you have to get to a place of doing the work, healing that inner child, and recognizing that I don't have to stay stuck in this narrative that has been keeping me trapped all of these years. There is hope. There is something bigger out there for you. And once you recognize that, that'll give you something to hold on to and something to look forward to. It's not about life being perfect now, but it's about recognizing that there is something bigger out there for me and learning how to take back your power and learning how to take back control of you. I'll stop here. My name is Janelle. I'll see you in my next video.